SML, welcome to Three and Out, where it's just three of us because we couldn't afford Stephen D. Muse this time, unfortunately. So, guys, with me, you want to say hello?
Hey, what's going on?
We got
We doing
Q,
SML.
we got Q and Doink here with us, and unfortunately, with the loss of Stephen D. Muse, we have to completely sell out to make back our investment so that we can maybe get Stephen D. Muse in the future. So, with that, gentlemen, please stand, face Indiana, and remove your ball caps. Ladies and gentlemen, gamers and gridiron enthusiasts, welcome to SML 3 and Out, where pigskin meets pixels. Join us as we embark on a journey through the virtual gridiron, guided by our visionary leadership of our esteemed commissioner, Primetime Triple Zero. With gratitude in our hearts and a passion for the game in our souls, let us stand united, pledge our allegiance to this Madden franchise community, led by Primetime Triple Zero for fostering competition, camaraderie, and endless gridiron glory. Thank you, Prime, for setting up the greatest league in the Eastern time zone. Now I'll give you guys a second to wipe away your tears, and then after that, Doink, what is your favorite thing about Prime?
Oh man, that's a tough one. That's a hell of a way to start the podcast off with our Prime allegiance. Uh, Favorite thing about Prime's got to be how much he cares about this community, the community he's built, and he often reminds us, he loves us guys, and the whole community he's built is just it's fantastic, and that's all him.
Q, I know you've been in the stir a bit lately. Everyone's out to get you, but I know you deep down you love Prime. What do you love about Prime the most?
Yeah, this one is tough because an ongoing long cycle to cycle rivalry with the guy. But let me just say, I'll start just like him. Yeah. What I love about him is how even keel he is. The guy is never too high, never too low until we get to topic or the next question. But he never gets too high, never too low on things. He always handles league business, even when it's bad stuff going on under the table, so you don't really know a lot about it in the main chat. He doesn't like to have a lot of drama. He always makes sure that this is a very well ran, tight knit, family committed feeling of a group. And like I said, he always makes you feel included, whether you're the 30th guy in here, whether you're the first guy, based on your record, based on your status, whatever the case may be. The guy is, he always makes you feel like your family.
Yeah, that's just beautifully well said. The thing I love most about Prime is he's a first foot forward kind of guy. He always leads content. He's making 8 different podcasts, although I know this last shorts one didn't last too long. He's always hyping up games in the chat. He's just always involved in his own league, and he's never gonna rely on someone else to really do it for him. He's gonna make it great with or without 32 other guys. He could have 31 AI people in here, and he'd still be making content, and still be winning Super Bowls. And with that being said, what do you guys hate about Prime? Doink?
Oh man, what do I hate about Prime? Also a hard one for the opposite reason. I'll okay. I hate having to play Prime. He gives me fits. He always knows what I'm looking to do. He does a great job at taking away like quick looks on the flats, and his user has given me trouble. I think I've only beaten the guy like once in SML history.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
he's everyone seems to have a losing record against him. Q, someone that can
Probably is.
occasionally rival him. What do you hate about
Yeah.
Prime?
As another loser versus Prime myself, I can definitely attest to that. There's this little two part here. What I hate about him is how good he is. It's when you're a guy like Prime and you poke fun and you get under guys' skin and all that good stuff, typically you're not the best in the league as well. Usually that's not the case. And here we have the guy that runs the league, loves the league the most, will get under your skin and promote a fight, with the best of them, but he's also the best at it. He's the best in the game. He's the best off the field at it. The guy is it's hard. That's what I hate. It sounds like how can you hate, and I know what you listeners are thinking. How can you hate that? It sounds like quite a man. I agree. That's why I hate it so much. The only other thing I will say that I dislike, I can't. Don't fact check me on this one either. This is from Eminem, by the way, the Eminem Show. He likes to call people soft. He likes to tell people they're sensitive. But if you mention that he throws it to Jonathan Taylor a little bit more than other guys, if you mention Jelani Woods has, 2 routes in his entire route tree, and if you mention Hollywood Brown can only run a streak, he's going to pull up your primer record when you've given out maybe 5, 6 forced losses. He's going to attack you. I remember one time, this is a vague memory, but Bean mentioned something about him, and he came at Bean. I'm not going to let Bean come within 3 scores. So when you maybe say something about his Colts team or his gameplay, your head is basically on a spike at that point.
Well, you kind of, went a little aggressive there. I can't believe you do something to a great
I can't believe
commissioner.
I did that, yeah.
Maybe
we'll have to scrub that.
I guess the thing I dislike about Prime, it's more of like a personal thing. Not a lot of people really know this about Prime. A lot of times it's in DMs and stuff, but he really wishes for sickness upon me every time we play a playoff game, and I get like 10 of them against him, and I never win, I hate that about him, but telling me he hopes I get into like car accidents and stuff.
Jeez.
It's just a little,
Oh no.
it's a little much, and it hurts my feelings sometimes,
Is
Oh.
that why you now live with a bunch of goats?
No, it's why the reason I throw in the 4th quarter, because he says he's gonna kill me if I win.
We're having a little bit of dark secrets coming out about our guy. Maybe we should.
No, I was just
Think about this.
joking there. Just joking there. Yeah. I just hate playing him. He's so good. I always match up in the playoffs. I, just don't want to play him ever again.
He's good.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's one of my reasons as well.
You gotta wonder if he targets you in the playoffs now. If he tries to face off with you, manipulate the seeding, a little bit of legal tanking, maybe.
Whoa. And I guess with playoffs on the mind, Doink. What are your thoughts about this most recent playoffs?
This most recent playoffs was honestly, it was kind of a good summation of the cycle so far. We've seen a lot of different people making runs that, if you listen to any SML content, both at the beginning of this season or, any cycles before that, these were people that weren't even mentioned in the breath of, Big Five or, Super Bowl contenders. All the different people who have made Super Bowls, won Super Bowls. We've had a new champion every season so far. We've had other guys, a bunch of people had their first ever Super Bowl run, like even just making it to the Simbardi. And it's been a cycle of parity so far. The league talent pool is as deep as it's ever been, at least in my relatively short time here. But still, I think I hear there used to be plumbers and whatnot running around, but now you got guys who weren't even in the top 10 of last year winning Super Bowls type deal. Between that, you see guys like Dump, hell of a run by Dump, dominant run by Dump. But also he's playing all these guys who quote unquote aren't the Big Five, aren't cream of the crop. Well, you beat who's in front of you, and maybe the Big Five is no more. Maybe that's the past. I don't even think we had a Big Five playoff win this season. Not just they didn't win the title, they didn't make the Super Bowl. There was not a single Big Five playoff win. Baz had just as many playoff wins as the rest of them, and well, he's not even in the league anymore. So. That was my big
said
takeaway.
the word. I'm gonna cut you off there.
Oh.
Q, I know you were in chat a little bit earlier, chirping at Dump. What do you think about this most recent playoffs?
Yeah, I thought Doink hit on a lot of valid points, I should say. I'm not going to call them good points. I'm going to call them valid points. This playoffs was... And I'm going to sound like a hater here. So let me just preface this. I'm going to call it felt a little bit odd. It felt a little fluky. Not often do 30, 25-yard field goals get blocked or PATs get blocked, but I saw a few this playoffs. Not often do 80-yard punt return touchdowns happen in the games, but I saw a few. I think 2 maybe. A lot of dropped interceptions. Weird, guys getting stuck together on routes, forcing interceptions. Just a lot of strange things that happened. Now, I do want to say to Dump, congratulations to Dump. I did chirp a little bit in the chat today. He mentioned his record versus me. Biz has a winning record versus me this season, or in the regular season cycle. But, so congrats to Dump. He has the ring. I saw the video with his girl. That's, it's cute. It was a nice thing. The guy wanted it. You could tell by that video the guy definitely wanted it. And so you can definitely relate to that, I should say. I can definitely relate to that. The feeling of not quite that feeling, but the feeling of wanting it, bad, and you get that first one. And I know he's needed that for a long time. So congrats to him. Obviously, like Doink said, some of the guys that are considered elite members and Big Five members, some of them aren't even. Maybe that's the next topic, and we'll get into that. But they definitely didn't show up this playoffs, and like you said, based on the wins and losses in the playoffs, and some even didn't even make it there. It's definitely looking bleak for that Big Five.
Yeah, it was really just felt like one of the weirdest playoffs that I've ever experienced in my short time here, and mainly for one reason, and there was no Prime. And not even just about his game with Wine, but I think he was busy doing other stuff over the
Mm-hmm.
course of the weekend. We didn't have him in chat hyping up every single game for hours on end to get 25 viewers on him. He did one commentary, and I think it was the Super Bowl. He wasn't there to
No, it's
spam
not.
Legacy Drive for every single drive, honestly, and the atmosphere just felt a little different.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's just another testament to how much we love Prime so much. And he
Different
even
names in the booth this playoffs too.
yeah, a lot of different names, some good, some
Way to
interesting.
step up. Way to step up to all of them, though. Even if you haven't showed up, or if you've showed up every single playoffs and announced, it's good that you got in there. Because without you guys, there would have been silent games for a lot of them.
Yeah, and no one
Yeah,
wants to watch them.
any cast is good. Q or Dom, or Rice. Did you have a favorite new broadcaster in the booth? A couple guys that not from the usual group of guys.
I mean, Paulie's always fun. Half it you don't know what's gonna come
Yeah.
out of his mouth. Half it's right, half it's wrong. Meets calling Wendell Burrell Percy Burrell for the entire game was pretty funny considering he had a bunch of yards, so we got to hear his name a bunch. But I mean, I
Yeah,
feel like Meets and Paulie are kind of always in the circle. I don't know that we had any new names. I guess Gil's probably new to the playoff commentary, but we've heard his voice enough. So
Yeah, I like being said. I'm a big Pauly fan. In the booth, he's one of my top three favorites when it comes to commentary. So Pauly was my favorite. I don't even know if he called a game this year. Like Bean said, it kind of felt it was an odd playoffs. I didn't see a lot of them. Maybe that's due to the lack of marketing. So
it also didn't help that every game that was commentated was like a 40-point blowout by Dump. So there's not really much to talk about. To be honest, I feel like every game
yeah,
was silent, even with commentators after like the second half or
yeah,
after the first
and
half.
and it wasn't alluding to Doink saying the Big Five having 0 wins. Also, it was some odd games as well, some odd matchups I would say as well. You don't expect to see, and this is no disrespect to either one of them at all. You just don't expect to see like a Woods versus Biz to get to an NFC Championship game type of game, despite it being a good game. I mean, until Woods kind of ran away with it, but
yep.
it's just
And
unusual names in the playoffs. Kind of maybe I don't know. I don't know.
definitely some new blood, some fresh faces, whatnot. Even like just all of it. I will say, just to slightly amend my 0 wins statement, Prime did have a bye, so I mean, he
It makes it
also
even
did
worse.
yeah, but he did technically, accrue that he advanced
Yeah,
past that round.
yeah.
Well, I guess that was our third topic, and so I guess we're out of here.
Yeah,
Later.
punt it.